Right, so in this video I'm going to talk about something a bit different from what I usually talk about from the usual topics that I address, right? And this is regarding something that happened yesterday when I went to this very nice party with some of my friends from school, and we talked, we laughed, it was a very nice experience. We ate sugar-free cupcakes and we played volleyball, so it was very nice. I really liked it. But something happened there which really brought my attention, and it's something that I thought was really worth talking about here. And that was the fact that sometimes you're not going to know what you're saying to other people, and whether that hurts them, and whether that's like really bad or mean, or, if you're like me, then you kind of tend to be a bit more straightforward sometimes, and a bit like in the haze other times. Like you're very, very all over the place, Instead of like being overly direct or overly polite, and just like kissing everybody in the ass, I try to go for some middle ground, but it doesn't always work. And this is what happened here with one of my friends. Now, I've known this friend for a while. We've known each other for like 2 years, right? And in these 2 years, I think we've gotten along quite well, I'd say, right? But there were very few instances, where I said some stupid jokes, and these jokes, they were actually harmful and meaning, like, they had a lot of meaning to this person, and it really hurt them. And it ended up, with some sort of conflict rising between us that I hadn't even known about. But I guess this comes from, a lot of things that other people say, right? If other people tell you about something that this one person did, or, X did this, Y did that, if they tell you about that, if they tell you some random things that might not even be true, or like they're so false, they're so far away from reality, that they don't really make that much sense, but you still believe them because somebody told you, right? And it doesn't even have to be like close friends, right? It can be somebody that just comes around and they kind of know this person. They tell you, you can easily get manipulated and influenced by these opinions and the things that you hear, right? So you have to be really careful. I wasn't. I heard some things, and without even realizing, these things, they manifested into some sort of different opinion about this person. Aside from just a nice person that you can laugh with and you can have fun with, right? No, I started thinking different things about this person. I started, having different ideas in my mind. I'd like to believe that I never really went out like screaming like, I hate this person, I dislike this person for what they did, but there were a few instances, which I'm not proud of, in which I felt like I was being really mean to this person for some reason, and when I looked back on it, I couldn't even realize why. But now that I think about it, it's because of this. It's because you hear opinions about other people from other people, and you just let these things indirectly influence the way that you think about that person without like actually seeing the entire situation, without putting yourself in the person's shoes that they're all talking about, and seeing what that person feels, seeing the way that they behave, and maybe realizing that you would have probably done the same thing if you were in their shoes, right? So this is some sort of empathy that we have to keep in mind, and yet I didn't, and I found myself saying some bad jokes. I'm not even sure, like, sometimes I tend to make some decent jokes or on-the-line jokes with people, because a lot of the time that I spend were with my friends, like with my guy friends, right? With the boys that I see in school and everything. And there you can see a lot of stuff, right? You can genuinely, and you know this, right? You can say a lot of stuff to your guys, right? And they'll either throw it back at you, and that'll be it. But like, we've never really actually gotten like in a conflict over like what we've said to each other as jokes or whatever, or and yet with this person, it was different. Like, I think they were really affected by the things that I said, and I could tell that later on in the evening while we were at that party. We were just talking. We were like sitting in a corner or something, and on the grass, and we were talking and everything, and I cannot remember exactly what I said, which was a bit mean, right? And this person, they for a second I heard their tone getting a bit defensive, and I was like, "Huh, that's weird. What did I do? Or what happened?" But I didn't really pay much attention up until, they left. And I was just sitting there. I was one of the very last to leave, right? So I was sitting there. I was thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe I've done something bad that I don't even know. Maybe I've made this person feel bad. I've made this person feel uncomfortable for some reason. I thought about it for a while. I was like, you know what? Yeah, I think I did. I think I crossed the line a bit, with some of my jokes. I think I crossed the line in this way and this way. I don't like it. I don't like to do this and then leave people like that, And so I was thinking about it as I was coming back home. I pulled out my phone and I sent this person a message at like 12 a.m., right? Hey, look, I'm sorry for the jokes that I made. Sometimes I tend to make them and I get a bit over the line, and I'm really sorry, and I'll try not to make them again, and I'll be more careful, right? This person, they said it's fine, it's okay, I get it, but it really bothers me when you say these kinds of personal things, right? I thought to myself, I didn't even realize that I was saying like personal things which were affecting this person, right? So this is how much you can hurt people without even realizing it. You're just saying some random things which you honestly, innocently thought were jokes. And this person takes them as personal. You might just say, well, that's the person's problem. Like, why are they taking it so personally? But, it's happened to you, it's happened to me, it's happened to all of us, man. I guess we just have to have some empathy. We cannot just always act like, screw these people, bro. If you cannot take a joke, then screw them. Don't spend time around them. Yeah. Most of the time, I agree with that, bro. If they cannot take a joke, then fine. But this person can take a joke. It's just that, when you cross the line and it's about something that happened to them, that's too much, man. And you're like, yeah, that's pretty obvious, dude. Like, why are you making a video about this? And it's because I thought this was obvious as well. I still think it's obvious. Yesterday, I thought it was very damn obvious. Just as obvious as it is today, right? But I still did it. I still said something which I didn't know what meaning it had, and it affected people. And so, one part of this is just don't listen to what stupid opinions other people outside. I mean, maybe it's not like a stupid opinion, right? But don't listen to, don't take these opinions for granted from whoever they might be, because there's a little bit of bias from everybody. Everybody who is there has some sort of bias when they talk to you about somebody else, especially if they regard this person as, oh, I don't know, I don't really get along with them, or I don't know, they're kind of like this, When they say stuff like this, it's so easy to add their own bias in and to make things much worse. So don't do that. Don't listen to people entirely when they express their opinions about somebody, because it might not really go somewhere that you'd like. And one other thing, when you feel like you're just messing up, if you feel like you're just saying something that's not okay, right? I don't know, you've made a joke which feels a bit too personal and that person doesn't really get it and they don't like it and they get a bit defensive and upset. When you care about this person, you don't want this person to just be mad at you and you're like, what a loser, bro, and then you block them on whatever social media you have and don't talk to them in real life anymore. Like, bro, if you really care about that person, I guess this really applies to everybody that hasn't been a wuss to you. Like, if they're not being a wuss to you, if they're not being, miserable and horrible and, straight up insulting you and being bad, right? You get what I mean, genuine bad people, then, bro, you should have some empathy towards them, and that's basically a lot of people, because I don't think there exist a lot of genuine bad people, right? But there are certain people which say things and do things more than others, right? But even if with these people, we should have some empathy. But we should have even more empathy with the people who don't necessarily do that, right? That we tend to spend more time around and be friends with. Bro, if you mess up, it's so frictionless to just say, hey, you know what, I'm sorry. I guess it's frictionless, but at the same time, you have to know what you're sorry for, because if you're like, no, I just don't really want to get upset with this person because it'll make me feel bad, so that's that's just you being all full of yourself, right? You're just being selfish. You're only thinking about what you would feel if you were to be upset with this person, or, you know, if you were to not really speak to this person in the same way because of something that you said, you know, I feel bad and then I wouldn't like this, bro. You're just saying the word I is too much used in your sentences, so don't say it anymore. You know, think about this person, what they feel, man. You know, and this really sounds like maybe pussifying stuff to a lot of people, and I get it, but, you know, when I messaged this person at like 12 a.m. and I said, hey, you know what, I'm sorry for what I said, you know, I didn't realize that I was crossing the limit, I was saying some stuff that maybe wasn't nice. I'm really sorry, and I'll try my best to not do it in the future. You know, I'll try to be more conscious of it and not be a dumbass anymore, you know. So and then, you know, we talked for a bit. They said it was okay, it was all right, you know, they get it, they understand that sometimes we mess up and everything. They mess up as well, everybody does. But they said, yeah, it bothers me when you say that, you know, it bothers me. And for such a long time, you know, I really thought that you had something with me because you were looking at me differently sometimes. You were talking to me with a different tone sometimes. I was like, where does that come from? That comes from all of the influence that you get from other people's opinions, from other people's biased opinions about this person. That's what changes your tone. That's what changes the way that you see this person, that you interact with this person. So be very careful. And you'll feel much better, you know, once you apologize, once you admit your mistakes, man. Because there's so many people that will be like, nah, bro, no, I'm not admitting my mistakes, bro. Because, like, no, I'm not wrong. Like, that person's a wuss or whatever, but, like, I'm not wrong, bro. Why would I be wrong, right? There's so many people, and you know these people that act like that. It's so stupid. You know what, man? If you mess up, if you have the slightest feeling that you messed up, and it's something that you can kind of tell in this person that it really affected them, or it affected them to some extent, bro, just say, you know what, hey, I'm sorry, man. Like, I'm sorry. My bad, I didn't mean to do that, you know, I'm sorry. I think it's a virtue to be able to just admit that you had a mistake, even if it's a small one. Even if it's something as non-visible as this was, you know, to the rest of the people around me, right? To me, it was visible, and I thought to myself, you know what? I don't want to have that be another brick in the wall between us. Pink Floyd reference, but... So I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not going to put another brick in the wall and separate us, right, as human beings. And I said, you know what, I'm sorry. I messed up. I'm sorry that I said something like that. You know, in the future, I'm just going to be a lot more careful with the jokes that I make. And, you know, try not to say things which are directly related to the person and so on, you know. But I guess this really helps, you know, build human connection better. You know, when you're not just ignorant. You're not just saying, oh, that person cannot take a joke, and then you don't talk to them, or you say even more offensive things, you know. But yeah, you know, this is just some thoughts I had on my mind. You know, say sorry when you feel like you should. Don't say sorry when you feel like you shouldn't. That's also very important. You know, don't just go around kissing everybody in the ass. But, you know, when you feel like you care about a person and you've upset them in some way, just say, you know, I'm sorry. You know, I gotta fix this. I'll be more careful next time. I'm really sorry. Bro, because if it's somebody that you care about, you would do that. But if it's not somebody that you care about, if it's somebody that has no direct relation to you, you can be like, ah, bro, just screw them, man. Like, who cares about them? But you know these people, you know them best, so it's up to you to figure out who you say sorry to when you cross the line and who you don't say sorry to when you cross the line. But I guess maybe we shouldn't cross the line with a lot of people, you know? So, I'm not going to waste your time. You know, if you want to join my Discord server, if you want to go on a free self-improvement one-to-one coaching call with me, links are in the description of the channel. Go there and like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it, kiss me in the ass. So yeah, man. Don't kiss me in the ass, bro. I'll see you next time, man. Take care of yourself. Bye bye. Good luck.